All right, we're running a little late this week, so we're going to try and get through this one quick and get it up fast. But before we get started, couple things of note. First up, thank you all for the positive response on my video about the Toyi situation. Never thought I would be in this position when I'm as small as I am, but hey, that's life. Also, before anyone asks, Vanguard, yesterday we got a ban list. There was a little anime announcement. I, however, am going to wait to see what is announced Friday, because for those of you who don't know, a big part of the announcement was a ban list for V, where it seems that they only hit stuff relevant to Japan, whereas we have a big issue here with Prism. Or was it Melody and they hit Prism? Whatever the other Bermuda deck is, it's too much for us. But the thing is, they said that there will be an announcement for the TCG here on Friday. So my assumption is we will now get a separate ban list, in which case I'll just cover everything in one video, probably Saturday, because Friday is my locals and I'm never home. But yeah, that will be how we deal with that when we get to that. But for now, we are here to talk about YGO 7's Episode 89, the final Luke duel. One final sibling rivalry match. And you know what? This is pretty by the numbers, all things considered, but I did still enjoy it. So first up, we should probably pick off with where I stopped talking about it last week, and that is, so the crew gets Asuna's gang to commit property damage and probably felony levels of it at that, to burrow down into underneath the school where we're looking for the big secret, and the big secret is that Luke and Tiger's family company made millions of Luke's watch, and they didn't work, so they hid them under the school. I don't care what anyone says. This was some kind of insurance scam. That's what that is. But yeah, no, so they get down there, and they're trying to figure out how does this help them do a massive Polibo effect. And while they're doing that, Luke's great-grandfather and Tiger show up, and Tiger's all like, you suck because you don't want to be part of the family business. That's the only reason you're dueling. I'd argue he's 11. If he wants to think that way, let him think that way. But yeah, no, so the episode ends with Tiger accusing Luke of being more of a coward and not really being as tough and strong as he claims he is. And so naturally going into this episode, it's going to be the end of the sibling rivalry and the conclusion to Luke's arc. The thing is, though, when you think about it, Luke didn't, at least in my opinion, really need a final duel. Him saving Roman, him showing that he really does care about his friends, is not just about soothing his own ego, and going so far just for one friend, just to have that group back and have things go back to how they should be, to me, is the conclusion of Luke's arc. Luke was always this selfish, pig-headed asshole who would occasionally reveal that he cared about his friends, but for the most part was always kind of in it for himself, or at least that's what he kind of thought about himself. What happened from there happened. But by going out of his way to bring Roman back, it showed he really does care about everyone, and he does value having them in his life as more than just people to cater to his nonsense. So there kind of is no point to this duel. But I did still kind of enjoy this. There is just something sort of fun about watching the younger sibling who's got kind of, I don't want to say the word abusive, but kind of like a bit of a bullying, like tougher older sibling kind of rising above. And in a weird way, I think they do kind of justify it. Because a big aspect of this duel is that Tiger is constantly kind of pushing Luke around, and Tiger knows that Luke always falters in front of her because he does get nervous and scared of how intimidating and strong she is. So sort of the point to this whole thing is Luke finally being able to reveal the strength that he has what it takes to stand up to Tiger, that he can stand up for himself in the face of when he's feeling pushed back or is feeling weak. And I think that's kind of what the whole thing is about. Also, I just kind of respect the fact that most of the episode is the duel. Everyone else is just kind of in the background, just kind of adding like goofy side commentary. But for the most part, the episode is completely 100% focused on these two siblings and their kind of conflict with each other. And I really fucking respect that. In fact, I respect that about all these past few episodes as we finish up the show, and that is that ultimately the show stayed true to itself and the focus was always on the characters. It wasn't on the bigger plot, it wasn't on the greater world. It always went back down to that idea of we are a show about characters and how they kind of interact and get along. And I really appreciate and respect that is how this show wants to be remembered, more than being remembered as a big, epic, masculine shonen. But yeah, no, so the duel proceeds to then go how you expect. Tiger makes a bunch of big crazy moves. Luke ends up winning the duel with drag ears. It's fun, but I do kind of like Luke's sort of big speech at the end there when he activates the final trap that lets him win. He's not screaming, he's not shouting, he's not talking about how much bravery he is. He's showing. He is showing that he now has the maturity and the strength, and he is proving to Tiger that he has grown, and in turn, proving it to himself. So even though, yeah, this was a little bit pointless, I think it was a nice way to ultimately show how far Luke has come and how he has gone, and I think it does act as a nice little cap-off to his story arc. But yeah, no, so then the duel ends. We get the cute little bit where, of course, Tiger does reveal that she did really want to help Luke and that she does really care about them. As always, the actors have such good chemistry, I genuinely believe it. Tiger then naturally goes back to her stubborn self the minute Luke starts acting stubborn, like his usual self, and like gets him in a headlock. I think it's really cute how Austin is being like, 1, 2, 3, 4. But yeah, no, so then stuff goes crazy. Oh no, wait, craziness happened first. The minute the duel ends, we see these like yellow energy waves coming from Luke and Tiger. At first it kind of looked like it came from their stomachs. So I kind of thought where the joke was going was that it was the power of hunger. Something that you'd expect with these kind of characters. But yeah, no, it's the watches. Because the duel was so intense, it caused the Polibo effect to go into mass. Which then caused the watches to create an EMP, thus shutting the city down and killing anyone in a hospital. That's right. You'll never think of that. They do that in movies and TV shows all the time, that something crazy happens and all the power goes out. You ever think how many fucking people died? Huh? Did you think of that, Luke? Did you think about that? So, some people died tonight, Luke. Their families will not forgive you, Luke. Doesn't matter what you say, Luke. They don't forgive you. You gotta live with that, Luke. You gotta live a long, cold, sad life of knowing these people died because you like static electricity or whatever the fuck this is. That's on you, Luke. That's on you. But yeah, no, so anyways, all the watches go off. Turns out this was a side effect from day one, which is why they were hidden there. Again, I think this is a fucking insurance scam. It all goes crazy, and which then proceeds to shut the system down, which is what's going to allow our crew to go into fucking space next week to save the day once and for all. And so again, that was the end of the arc of one Mr. Luke. And again, like I said, it's pretty superfluous and was kind of unneeded, but I think it was a fun final duel for a fun character and a fun dynamic. And I do appreciate what they tried to do with this. But in the comment section below, give me your thoughts on this final duel and Luke's final episode. And tell me what you're looking forward to as we go into, I think our final, like 2? I think we only have 2 left. God, I don't want to see 7's end. But as for the TCG question of the week. So I'm noticing a lot of people say that they're pretty fucking sick of the format. Which is a problem when the format is only about a month old and potentially has another 2 months to go. So my question to you is, are you part of that? Are you sick of Adventurer? Are you sick of these 60-card pile decks? Are you tired of just where everything's going? Are you mad that another deck that's even more obnoxious like Albaraz is right around the corner? Or are you just kind of taking it in stride and just accepting, hey, that's Yu-Gi-Oh for you? I'm at the point where I just think, hey, that's Yu-Gi-Oh for you. I wish I had a more witty response, but It's just kind of like, yeah, is what it is. But tell me what you think about that below. And as always, click to like, click to subscribe, and join me next week where we finally go into space. Suck it, Jaden. You couldn't be bothered to go to space to stop the white hole or whatever your fucking arc was all about. But Yuga can. Yuga's better than you. And remember, Luke, you killed those people.